through the Atlantic, and one of them could affect our weather in the coming days.
A crane collapse, the topple terrifying people inside a medical center. We're live with that story you saw first on 4.
Gunfire outside the Miami Beach Police Department. Now one person is dead.
Residents are returning to the Big Easy one day after the president makes a pledge to rebuild their city.
And dozens of pets stranded in the strike zone make it back to South Florida safe and sound. We're live in New Orleans with team coverage.
Hello everyone, I'm Joy Purdy.
I'm Susan Barnett in for Elliot Rodriguez. CBS 4 News at noon starts right now.
Now, live. This is CBS 4 News at noon.
First at noon, the tropics are heating up. Your weather station's tracking 2 waves worth watching. One could affect our weather in the coming days.
Let's get right to CBS 4 meteorologist Elizabeth Hart live in weather control. Elizabeth.
Well, good afternoon. We're going to start with the wave that could have the soonest impact on us here in South Florida. And yes, we may be seeing a better chance of rain by the end of the weekend. Here it is. It's nothing real well organized right now, but I want to show you what it looked like 12 hours ago. Just some clusters of storms kind of scattered about here, here, and here. And then as we put this into motion, you'll notice that it's kind of expanded and intensified. This is the Dominican Republic right here, and this is Puerto Rico. And then off to the north and east, we're starting to really see some pretty intense convection around what may be a developing system. So that is wave number 1. I take you further out into the Atlantic now. This is about 550 miles east-southeast of the Windward Islands. And there you can see a general area of very disturbed weather. This one definitely has the potential for development within the next day or two. And I'd say this one probably has the better chance of becoming a tropical depression. So we'll keep you posted on both of those. But the good news is that Tropical Storm Ophelia is continuing to weaken, pulling away now from the Carolina coastline, but still bringing some battering surf up across the Delmarva. Here's the latest on Ophelia. The location 70 miles east-northeast of Cape Hatteras, moving a little faster now up to the north-northeast at 8 miles per hour, and the winds are down to 60 miles per hour. The forecast track takes it right by the New England coastline, then eventually up into eastern Canada, where the system is expected to become extratropical. But we actually have tropical storm warnings in effect from the southern coast of Rhode Island all the way around towards Nantucket, and this does include Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard. So sort of an unusual event there, but even if the storm is to veer a little bit further east than we're expecting right now, we will definitely see some very rough surf up that way and beach erosion. Around here, sun and clouds through the afternoon, just stray storms today. We'll talk about that better chance of rain by the end of the weekend.
All right, Elizabeth. Well, most of the power is now back on and along the North Carolina coast as Tropical Storm Ophelia moves out to sea. Ophelia hovered off the shoreline for days, bringing heavy rain and high winds, causing damage to homes and plenty of street flooding.
The North Carolina coastal town of Salter Path took a direct hit from Ophelia and is reporting the most damage. Powerful storm surges stripped buildings of wood and siding and are now uninhabitable.
8 miles away is Atlantic Beach, where homes and businesses are also tattered. Ophelia's heavy rains caused quite a bit of flooding there too and throughout the region. And in some places, there's at least 2 feet of standing water. The good news, emergency workers and the National Guard are already on the scene helping the victims.
And now a story we broke right here on 4. A crane collapse in Margate on the grounds of a hospital, shaking quite a few people up. CBS 4's Nefertiti Jacquez live on the scene with the latest details. Nef.
Well, Susan, as scary as this site is, luckily enough, no one was in that part of the building at the time the crane came crashing down. Officials here tell me that that part of the building actually has offices that were being renovated at the time. However, other folks in the main part of the hospital here say they were completely shaken up.
I felt a tremor.
By ground and by air, our crews captured images this morning of a crane that somehow toppled over and onto the roof of the medical building of the Northwest Medical Center Hospital.
It felt like a large earthquake, and people just started scurrying out to see what happened.
Folks soon realized there was no earthquake, but were left in awe at the sight of this. Now, police and fire rescue say that they got the call shortly before 8 o'clock this morning that a rolling crane attached to a flatbed truck fell on top of this 3-story building. The crane crushed parts of the roof and sent the 2 workers on the crane at the time to the hospital, but with non-life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, officials here do say that the toppled crane caused some damage.
The primary issue that was affected was our air conditioning.
Now, this just so happens to be the second time in just over a week that a crane has collapsed. This was the scene when a crane came down at the Marquee condos in Fort Lauderdale on Oakland Park Boulevard. Now, no one was injured there, but a woman did narrowly escape that scene. Now, back out here live, police are telling us that those two men were attempting to carry a piece of concrete when that came down, and so did the crane. At this point, those men were treated here at the hospital and since have been released. That's the very latest here in Margate. Nefertiti Jacquez, CBS 4 News.
There's a scare at a Miami supermarket when roofing materials catch fire. It happened at the Tropical Supermarket on Southwest 5th Avenue and 8th Street. A tar pot caught fire. Workers quickly got off that roof as fire crews put out the flames, and no one was hurt.
And now America pauses to remember the victims of Hurricane Katrina. President Bush designated today as a National Day of Prayer.
And like in the days after 9/11, the National Cathedral is playing host to a special service. President and Mrs. Bush, as well as Vice President Dick Cheney and his wife, are in attendance. Right now, you're looking at live pictures, and the president, we understand, is speaking right now. While in the New Orleans area, the recovery effort is taking a big step forward. CBS 4's Susan Roberts reports.
From right here in the heart of the French Quarter, President Bush promised that the federal government will pick up most of the tab for rebuilding New Orleans and the Gulf region. In addition, he is ordering the Department of Homeland Security to review emergency plans for every major city in America.
From above, you can see a large swath of the city is still covered with bacteria-infested water. Large areas of the Big Easy are still only accessible by boat.
These folks are working at great risk.
But pumps working around the clock are really making progress. And as the city prepares to welcome back its first 182,000 people tomorrow and over the following week, a cautious sense of optimism is slowly trickling back in.
I have developers that want to buy as much land as they can possibly buy.
In one of the largest rebuilding efforts the world has ever seen, President Bush, in a primetime address, promised the federal government will pay for most of it.
I, as president, am responsible for the problem and for the solution.
A laundry list of solutions. The president promises to reimburse other states for their expenses, to reunite families, and to start worker recovery accounts to pay for job training and education. As recovery shifts into high gear here, the president is promising to work with Congress to create a Gulf Opportunity Zone, which will encourage businesses to rebuild or move to the region. As some look to the future, recovery workers are still hampered by the immediate task of draining the city and collecting the bodies.
New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin says he thinks the city will be back up to a population of 250,000 in 3 to 6 months. But a recent poll of Houston evacuees shows that less than half want to return home. Reporting from New Orleans, I'm Susan Roberts, CBS 4 News.
And CBS 4's Carrie Codd is in New Orleans. We're going to check in with him in just a few minutes.
The outpouring of support from South Florida for Hurricane Katrina victims just keeps coming. A group of 17 Bell South technicians and engineers is on its way right now to the New Orleans area to help restore telephone service in the strike zone. They're in a convoy of 13 vans, 3 bucket trucks, and a support vehicle.
More than 100 four-legged Katrina victims arrived in South Florida last night, brought here courtesy of the Humane Society of Broward County. CBS 4's Joan Murray is live in Dania Beach with that story. Joan.
We are at the Broward Humane Society on Griffin Road. We've been hearing about these animals, seeing them on TV, and we can tell you they are finally here right now being bathed here at the Humane Society. This shepherd, it looks like a female, nicknamed Frenchie from the New Orleans French Quarter, and another dog over there. They're getting it ready. The process now will be to get these animals all set for adoption beginning tomorrow. The mission of mercy to rescue homeless dogs from the Hurricane Katrina strike zone in Louisiana rolls into Broward County. These particular dogs were left stranded and starving in a waterlogged New Orleans. They ended up in Gonzales, Louisiana at a shelter.
The animals that we're seeing being unloaded, these were the animals that we saw all those images on TV, the animals swimming in the water and stranded on the house, on the rooftops. These animals you can see are very thin. They need a lot of TLC, they're going to need a lot of good meals, and they're going to need some really, really patient owners.
Broward vet Bob Bozetta and his crew spent 3 days in Louisiana tending to the animals and getting ready for their trip back to South Florida.
Probably the best thing that happened to them was the hurricane and having to come to South Florida to really good homes. A lot of these dogs were just running loose in the streets. Some would come in with burns all over their legs from the toxic water that they're swimming around in. It was an interesting experience.
And they just keep on coming in for their bathing. This looks like a lab mix. All, again, will be ready for adoption beginning tomorrow, Saturday. Now, there's one caveat. These dogs could still go back to their original owners, depending if they come forward. So anyone who adopts is being told that they may have to give these dogs up at a later time. We are live in Dania Beach. Joan Murray, CBS 4 News.
Thanks, Joan. We want to take you live now to New Orleans.
CBS 4's Carrie Codd is there. And Carrie, what is it like there as the city begins to become back to life?
Well, it is certainly beginning to get back to life here. It is a very hot day here in New Orleans. There are a lot of people out who are working in their businesses, who have been able to stay in the city. We want to show you some videotape we shot just a short time ago. This is of Interstate 10, which of course was partially submerged by Hurricane Katrina just right after the storm. You could see the workers there clearing the dirt and the dust and the debris off the highway. It was the first time that we'd been able to drive in that way into the city of New Orleans. Also, as we drove around through the French Quarter, as I mentioned, we were seeing folks out with brooms. They were beginning to repair some of their businesses. A lot of the businesses are going to be able to get back in here on Saturday and Sunday in certain areas of New Orleans. And then on Monday, they'll begin that partial return of residents to certain areas. And of course, they hope to have folks here in the French Quarter by, we believe it is September the 27th that those folks will be able to be back in here. So there are certainly some signs, but still a very long way to go here.
Carrie, before we leave you very quickly, what are people saying there about President Bush's speech last night and his promise to help send more aid and rebuild the city?
I would say that it's cautious optimism. A number of folks that we spoke to said they felt the president was very sincere. They felt that he spoke directly to them. They also say that it's a very ambitious package that the president is promoting. They certainly say that they will believe it when they see it, but they do believe that if it goes as the president planned, it could be a tremendous boost to the economy, not only here in New Orleans, but across the Gulf Coast, and that there might be some silver lining here through this storm. It might bring jobs and, like I mentioned, a boost to the economy. Back to you guys.
Carrie Codd, thank you so much. Live in New Orleans. We'll see you a little later today. And folks, if you'd like to help the victims of Hurricane Katrina, and so many of you have, thank you so much. Please call Neighbors for Neighbors. The number 305-597-4404, or call them toll free 1-877-411-4242.
The Reverend Richard Dunn is announcing he will run for a seat on the Miami Commission left vacant by the late Art Teal. CBS 4's Jason Wheeler is live in Miami with the latest on this one. Jason.
Yeah, Susan, this one's only on 4 today. This morning, our cameras were the only ones here at Miami City Hall when Reverend Richard Dunn, a longtime, well-known community activist, threw his hat in to run for District 5 Commissioner next month when the elections are held. We have some video of him entering to prepare his paperwork and hand it over to the clerk this morning. The position, of course, was once held by a good friend of Reverend Dunn's, that being the late Arthur Teal, whose tenure was often overshadowed by different criminal probes into his conduct. He was, in fact, removed from office in March of last year. Then just this past July, you'll remember, Teal shot himself to death in the lobby of the Miami Herald. Now, because of what happened to his good friend and what that did to his community, candidate Dunn is now calling on others in the race to, at the very least, run a clean campaign.
We've been torn down enough. We've been grieving enough. We've been just destroyed enough. I mean, this has been devastating.
Dunn now joins 3 others who are already in the race for the District 5 Commission seat, including Jeffrey Allen, who currently holds that post. 5 other candidates have also expressed interest, but the filing deadline is tomorrow. Live in Miami, Jason Wheeler, CBS 4 News.
And still ahead on CBS 4 News at noon, gunfire erupts outside the Miami Beach Police Department, leaving 1 person dead.
And investigators say it was the drunken conclusion, a careless conclusion to a drunken act. We'll have the story live coming up next.
Then a scare in the air for passengers when smoke starts filling the cabin.
And how one firework caused a massive blast that left hundreds injured. CBS 4 News at noon is coming right back.
Everybody wants a great deal on a new car, but not any dealership can deliver. Well, at Esserman International Kia, you want it, you got it. You want the all-new redesigned Kia Spectra starting from just $11,495? You got it. You want scheduled maintenance included for the entire first year of your lease? You got it. Esserman International Kia. You want it, we got it. So get it.
Esserman Internacional, pegadito al International Mall.
Medicare is changing in 2006. If you have questions about the changes, we can help you find the answers. Stop by the Humana Mobile Medicare Information Center and talk face-to-face with a Humana Medicare advisor. Visit one of the locations near you. Let's talk.
Pod porn? See how the gadget that changed how you listen to music is being used in a new X-rated way. And what's even more shocking, it's free to anyone, including your kids. Sex Bots, Monday at 5 and 11 on CBS 4 News.
If you see news in the making, dial star CBS 4 on your T-Mobile cellular phone.
Investigators are questioning 3 people in connection with the fatal shooting of a man outside the Miami Beach police station. A police officer actually heard that gunshot.
He then saw 3 people getting out of the car where the victim's body was found. CBS 4's Gary Nelson live on the scene in Miami Beach to tell us more. Gary.
Well, guns and booze don't mix. That lesson tragically underscored here on South Beach this morning. Police say a young man shot and killed a good buddy of his after a night of drinking. The shooter, police say, knew enough not to be driving, but didn't know enough not to be playing with his gun. In this Jaguar on South Beach, police say a young man shot and killed a good buddy right in front of the police station. They'd been clubbing, cops say, when the owner of the car in the front passenger seat shot his buddy in the back seat in the chest. It was the fatal conclusion to horseplay.
He brought it out, started playing with it, pointed it at the victim, and pulled the trigger, thinking this whole time that the gun was unloaded.
23-year-old Jorge Luis Sandoval is charged with manslaughter. His relatives say he is a good guy who even had sense enough not to be driving this morning.
He's my cousin. He would never do something like this. Apparently, he was drunk, I think. That's why he didn't drive the car. He was in the next seat, and probably the firearm just went off, and he just shot him by mistake.
It was, police say, an alcohol-induced fatal mistake.
The alcohol, the club going, all has something to do with that. He did have a concealed weapons permit. One of the requirements is that you can't be anywhere that serves alcohol, and you can't obviously be under the influence of any alcohol or drug. So obviously he's in violation of that, but right now that's the least of his worries. He's been charged with manslaughter. He's going to jail, and he'll get his bond later on today.
This 23-year-old shooter, a young professional man, an aspiring banker, all 4 of the people in the car this morning, friends from Hialeah after a night out on the town, and then this. We're live on Miami Beach. Gary Nelson, CBS 4 News. There's
a mid-air scare over the skies of Japan when smoke is detected in the cabin of a United Airlines flight. The plane was on the way to Los Angeles when the pilot requested an emergency landing. No injuries were reported. That plane landed safely. Investigators are now trying to find the source of the smoke.
In Mexico, hundreds of people are injured after a colossal chain reaction blast at a fireworks market. The blast happened just north of Mexico City hours before one of Mexico's biggest annual fireworks displays celebrating the nation's independence. Witnesses say a customer lit a firework and threw it, setting off a series of explosions. 3 people were seriously injured, but hundreds more were treated for nervous shock, cuts, and bruises.
Next on CBS 4 News at noon, Elizabeth Hart is back with your weekend weather forecast.
And after only a few months of marriage, a country crooner and award-winning actress are calling it quits.
The Emmys are 2 days away, and we are talking to host Ellen DeGeneres about her big gig. That is coming up on CBS 4 News, first at 5. Stay with us.
Mark your calendars.
I can't believe it's here.
Monday, the 20th season premiere of Oprah kicks off with special guest Jennifer Aniston.
No!
and much, much, much more. Anything can happen. The 20th season premiere of Oprah, Monday.
Be there for the big event, Monday at 4, only on CBS 4.
It's Bear's grand reopening sale. After a year of hurricane repairs, our North Palm Beach showroom is back, and every Bear's showroom is celebrating with half-off all Serta and Kingsdown mattresses. Bear's grand reopening sale. Don't miss it.
Are you getting the most health care coverage for your Medicare dollar? If not, then you should know about Humana Gold Classic. Call now and Humana will send you this free booklet that tells how Humana Gold Classic gives you hundreds of doctors and many hospitals to choose from in your area, unlimited generic and designated brand name drugs, hearing and vision care, dental exams, and free membership in the award-winning Silver Sneakers Fitness program. You get all this and much more for no additional monthly plan premium. And now you can carry over your unused prescription drug benefit amounts from 1 month to the next, up to $1,500. It's all in this free booklet, getting the most for your Medicare dollar. Call Humana today to get yours. 1-800-833-6517 and get the most for your Medicare dollar.
Oh, get ready. Sybil is back.
Oh, yeah, and E.T.'s got me.
Next E.T., Sybil is Martha Stewart in a new primetime movie, plus all new celebrity baby pictures and a Dukes of Hazzard reunion. Next E.T.
Tonight at 7 on 4.
Their CBS 4 cameras capture the news of the day. Now we'll turn the cameras on these award-winning photojournalists, letting them use their unique talents to showcase South Florida. Viewfinders 05, a CBS 4 special, Sunday at 11 a.m.
Closed captioning sponsored by City Furniture, now offering same-day delivery 7 days a week.
Elizabeth Hart with us, and we all want to know about the weekend because it's Friday.
Oh, yeah. Finally, man, I have been waiting all week.
Right?
I tell you what, I think we're actually going to have a pretty decent weekend, but we're watching this wave. We talked about it off the top of the show. It's just to the north of the Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic area, and it's moving slowly west. So it's really hard to nail down the timing on this thing, but we're thinking Sunday night into Monday.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll probably get through most of it. All right, let's go ahead and detail it for you. We first off take a look at the temperature. It is 89 degrees here, CBS 4 Weather Control. 92 at Miami International already, 89 in Fort Lauderdale, and 88 down in the Keys. We are a 7 on the stickiness scale. It indeed feels summery out there. Still have a few days left officially of the summer season, and the winds are calm. No rain to speak of all around South Florida. Speaking of which, no rain has kind of been a theme for the most part. I want to review the September stats. We're about halfway through the month now, and temperature-wise, we diverge in Miami-Dade and Broward County. Our average temperature running about 83.5 degrees at the airport in Miami, and Fort Lauderdale actually running a little bit below normal for September. As far as the rainfall goes, a lot of it in Miami actually fell Saturday night and Sunday evening when we had some torrential downpours with those severe storms. So our total is just over the 4-inch mark. That's still running a little more than a 1/4 inch below normal. And then you look at Fort Lauderdale and we're just under the 2.5-inch mark, which is significantly below normal. And keep in mind that September is one of our rainier months throughout the year, partly because of the tropical systems that are so prevalent. Certainly have that in evidence today. Ophelia sitting off the North Carolina coastline, but finally making some movement. This is the wave that we were talking about. You'll notice here a big batch of red just to the west of the storm, and that is going to inhibit the development here, at least in the short term, but there's definitely the potential there to see this become something a little more significant, and then that wave still way out in the Atlantic could become something within the next day or two, possibly tropical depression number 17. So stay tuned to CBS 4. We'll keep you updated on the very latest. A few clouds out there today, maybe a storm late this afternoon into the evening, but they're going to be pretty sparse. As we take a look at Saturday, sun and clouds, afternoon storm chance once again, and Sunday is when we may start to feel the effects of that tropical wave, at least bringing an increase in the moisture and upping our chances for rain. So here's your detailed Friday forecast, sun and clouds. A storm or two out there, 91 for your high, and then into the overnight, storm chance still around, very balmy with your temperature right around 80. And then here's a look ahead. Saturday, good looking day, and Sunday the breeze is going to pick up out ahead of that wave, and again we'll have a little better chance of some rain. Have a good one.
Time now for our Eye on Entertainment. Actress Renee Zellweger and country singer Kenny Chesney are no longer singing to the tune of A Happy Marriage. The couple is calling it quits just 4 months after they tied the knot at a Caribbean resort. The couple is annulling the marriage, and Zellweger listed fraud as the reason for the breakup, but did not elaborate. They only knew each other for a few months to begin with. No, maybe she didn't know him. Fraud.
Fraud.
Okay, don't get me started.
Anyway, CBS 4 News at noon is coming right back.
First, a quick look at the numbers on Wall Street. Everything's up.
Oprah's Jennifer Aniston interview, what you haven't heard, and inside an all-new plus-size beauty pageant rating the buffet before hitting the stage. Plus the first ever video from inside a deadly tornado. Next Insider. Tonight at 7:30 on 4.
We got the lineup that just won't quit. I'm eating my dinner.
How's it now, Chunky?
Let's chill and make a night of it.
Jerk! That was fun.
Lock that door.
Life stinks.
Cheer up, you're still a kid. It's gonna get much worse.
Is there a Dr. Barnes here?
Start your night with CBS. Make a night of it.
Team Metro is bringing county services to you. Whether you'd like to access our passport or outreach services, would like our code compliance staff to come out to your neighborhood, want to attend our Citizens Academy, or would like government on the go bus locations, just give us a call. We're your one-stop shop for county services. For additional information on our services or to find out the address of your local Team Metro office, call 305-468-5900.
When I was growing up, it seemed Mom had all the answers.
That's what moms are for.
But since she's been on Medicare, finding affordable health coverage hasn't been easy.
And health care costs keep rising.
That's why you should call now and learn about Medicare Complete, the health plan that gives you more benefits than original Medicare alone, including prescription drug coverage.
For no extra plan premium.
That may sound too good to be true.
But it is true.
A contract with the federal government makes it possible. Medicare Complete provides you with Medicare health coverage, plus full coverage for doctor visits and hospital stays, prescription drug coverage, and dental and vision coverage, all for no extra plan premiums.
Which can help you save money.
Call now to learn how Medicare Complete can help you save and get a free exercise monitor with built-in radio. There's no obligation and nothing to lose, so call now.
What are you waiting for? Make the call.
She still has all the answers. Call now and discover Medicare Complete.
And we want to take you live right now. Some breaking news happening just outside Houston, Texas. You can see a small plane has crashed into a field now. We don't know the extent of any possible injuries, but we will have the latest on this breaking news story tonight on CBS 4 News first at 5. But again, a small plane crash outside of Houston, Texas.
We're just learning some new information, Susan. We're told 3 people have died. All 3 people were the only ones aboard that plane. No one has survived. And you can see the plane just split right in half as they investigate and try to find some answers as to why this happened. That'll do it for CBS 4 News at noon. Thank you for watching.
And we will see you tonight first at 5. Have a good weekend.
Impressive. Yeah, thanks. It really turned out nice. Especially...
We've stocked up. Now, so can you. That tailgating sale. Publix, where serving you has been our pleasure for 75 years.
Everybody wants a great deal on a new car, but not any dealership can deliver. Well, at Esserman International Acura, you want it, you got it. You want a luxurious TL sedan or MDX SUV for just $399 a month? You got it. You want it with no money down and no security deposit? You got it. You want scheduled maintenance included for the entire first year of your lease? You got it. Esserman International Acura. You want it, we got it. So get it.
Esserman Internacional, pegadito al International Mall.
Have you heard? Medicare is changing in 2006. New prescription drug benefits and greater access to health care for rural Americans are just two of the changes. If you have questions in the coming weeks, we can help you find the answers. The Humana Mobile Medicare Information Center is coming to Miami. You can talk face-to-face with a Humana Medicare advisor and learn how to make the most out of your health care options. Have your Medicare questions answered by Humana's knowledgeable team. Look for the Humana Mobile Centers nearest you at the following locations. Let's talk.
U.S. Art presents a gigantic art sale. You'll find thousands of beautiful oil paintings on canvas in hundreds of styles and colors to suit any home or office. 24 by 36-inch sofa-sized paintings will be selling for only $29.95. There's absolutely something for everyone. A one-of-a-kind art fair that's this Sunday only from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Kendall at the Dayline Marriott, in Fort Lauderdale at the Sunrise Hilton, in Hialeah at the Ramada Inn on 103rd Street. Nothing over $30.
At CarMax, we know quality really matters once you get your car home.
CarMax backs up every used car we sell with a 5-day money-back guarantee and a limited 30-day warranty, so you get a car you can count on. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
What's important when you want to sell your car?
The facts. Just tell me what my car is really worth with no strings attached.
CarMax has appraised nearly 5 million cars and will buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
Watch the Gators take on Tennessee tomorrow night at 8, only on 4.